Hello, everyone. Today we are back with another fear list. This is part two of our fear list. So we're working our way through some more villains. We got 10 more to get through. And joining me today is a man who refers to himself as his own favourite author, Owen Quinn.
That's me. That's the very one.
As you say, if you don't love yourself, who will love
Yeah,
you?
you don't love yourself, nobody loves you. But to be fair, the only reason I say that I'm reading my own stuff is because I'm actually editing at the minute, and I was editing until midnight last night.
Oh, man.
So we're nearly there with the editing, then I can get the rest of the stories finished for the new book. But it's so tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Absolutely.
tedious.
So speaking of new books, I have an announcement, Owen. Are you as excited as I am?
I'm sitting down with excitement, Jess.
All right, let's see if I remember how to work these images on screen. So my new horror novel, pop it up on screen there, Miles and Mary Ashbury, is out now. So during a heated argument, Miles Ashbury murders his wife, but she does not stay dead. Ooh. And it's a story about a grim and twisted marriage, and there will be a link in the description if you want to go check that out if you like your horror goodness. And I'm super proud of this one, so go check it out. All right, back to these horror villains. Owen, are you ready to tackle 10 more horror villains?
I'm ready. I've got my crutches ready to start swinging.
So we're going to rank these villains just like the last one in terms of how afraid of them we are. So
Yeah.
S tier, the best of the best of the best, scary of the scary of the scary. So that's reserved for the the, the scariest monsters you've ever seen. Right. A, really, really scary. B, fairly scary. C, scary enough, but maybe not that fussed. And D, not really scared of them at all. So it's going to
No.
be highly subjective. And as we discovered in our last one, it's going to depend on maybe. So some of our last villains got a D because we shouldn't really have any reason to be afraid of them because they wouldn't really want to come after us
No.
particularly.
No.
So like the likes of Chucky, he's not going to want our old ass bodies.
Who wants a one-legged doll? That's all I'm saying.
um. All right. So up first, Owen, we have such sights to show you. The
I
Hell
don't know
Priest.
any of these folks, by the way.
Yes, Owen has no clue what's
Yeah,
coming up.
I have
So
no clue what's coming.
he has to, and I tried to not think about it too hard. So you're kind of getting my kind of thoughts in real time.
Yeah.
So Owen, the Hell Priest himself, Pinhead. How do you rank this horror villain?
Well, Pinhead only really comes after you if you're trying to be a bit naughty. And
Yes.
and because this is a family show, I'm trying to put this in terms that will not get us
Yeah.
cancelled.
It's not too
Um,
family. We do drop the F bomb now and then, but we do try not go too nuts.
no, well, yeah, what a wee bit well nuts.
So what
You can
owns
lose your
dance
nuts.
what
With
what own
when
is
one of
that
them big hook things come at you coming from the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So what own is dancing around is that these are bondage demons.
well, that's a kind word for it. Um, your dirty ticket, as my granny used to say, your dirty ticket for to catch the attention of the Cenobites, especially Pinhead. Um, yeah,
So
so
it's
we're all grown men, we're all hot-blooded men. Like there's no virgins in the room, put it like that.
so not
But
many people know this, but Owen actually lost his leg in an extreme BDSM session.
I thought you were saying my virginity. I was going, how on we read it? Um,
Maybe that too. I don't know.
maybe I'd say. Well, I don't like to say these things, like sure,
Yeah.
but
Do you
the
know what?
only
We
reason
let
I
we let
said
it
it,
that out. Don't worry about it.
no, you
Oh no, that was a lie. It's gonna stay in.
no, it stays in. Um, you only when you go to the dirty side of things, we all have kids, so like none of us strangers. But when you go to the perverse side of it, that's when the Cenobites come looking for you. So, since I'm a good living Christian, um, I think I'm safe enough. But he is quite scary because as the films went on, he decided what he was getting wasn't enough, so he came into the real world in Hellraiser 3
Mm.
after Dax from Deep Space Nine, the lovely Terry Farrell.
Oh yes.
Um, so they are actually, and Cenobites and they at that point were quite indiscriminate about who they killed.
Yeah.
So they are quite scary. For me, then Pinhead would be an A.
Yeah.
Would be an A, regardless of anything else.
I myself would put Pinhead and indeed the Cenobites as S tier, but just because of the fact, like yourself, I don't think I would open the box. For one,
No,
I freaking hate puzzles. I hate
so do
puzzles.
I.
But the
So do
box,
I.
it does kind of beckon you, like it calls to you if you're, as you say, if you got certain compulsions or whatever.
Urges.
Urges.
If you have a diver's helmet and a wetsuit and you want to swing with a fireman's hose, that sort of thing, yeah,
Right,
go for it.
okay.
But
So
here's the thing. Here's the thing about Hellraiser. Were you able to do the Rubik's Cube, or did you just throw it away in frustration?
I can't do Rubik's Cube. I toss it
Well, there
away.
you go. That means you'll never work out the box because he wants the
Yeah,
Rubik's
yeah,
Cube.
exactly. I won't be
Yeah,
able to figure
not
it.
that not one of them bloody things again. You just throw it away. So we're safe. We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, I'd be one of those who wouldn't be able to solve the lament
No,
configuration.
see how the ones used to do it in like 10 seconds and stuff. How did it do that? I
Oh.
just peel the stickers off and put them down. Done it in about half an hour.
Nicola's really good at them. I absolutely suck at those kind of puzzles.
No, awful. Even jigsaws, no.
But
Thank you.
in the film though, the lament configuration seems really easy to solve. You never see people struggle with it too much.
Aye, when the plot suits any hour time they can't get it open. And then suddenly I think we better speed this up a wee bit. So cut his finger off and drag him in with a couple of hooks. Yeah.
So considering
Yeah.
all that, I like, you know, I would put them as an S, but considering all that, I might drop them down because of those reasons to. Ooh, I don't know. What are you going with?
I'm going with A.
Yeah, I'm going with B or A just because, for one, as you said, I probably wouldn't be able to solve the fucking thing.
Nah.
So I'll drop it as low as a B just for that reason.
It'll be one of them Christmas presents you get and you go, oh, lovely. Have you got the receipt?
Yeah. Actually, just in front of me, I have 2 lament configuration fluffy dice hanging on my wall.
Well, this is going to be the shortest podcast in history, folks. There's a couple of hooks going to come flat out. And that's the end of Stephen.
If it stops abruptly, you know what's happened.
Yeah.
All right, so Owen, you're going for
A.
A. I'm going to go down to a B just because of those reasons. If it wasn't for those reasons, it would absolutely be S. All right, good. Off to a good start. All right, next we have The Creeper. From, what's it from, Owen?
Scooby-Doo?
Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, him.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo's got a creeper? Big green thing. What a creeper. Do you know what I mean?
I must look that up.
Admit your childhood, son. Admit to your childhood.
Listen,
the creeper from Jeepers Creepers. I always call him Jeepers.
Oh, Mr. Jeepers.
Oh, there's Jeepers coming. Yeah, no, he's a bit freaky now.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a bit. I've watched all the Jeepers Creepers.
I've only seen the first one.
Oh, see, I don't like the first one.
Oh, I like the
I like
first one.
the second one.
I like the first one quite a bit.
And right, okay. But so does a lot of people, but that's okay. Number 3, I can't even remember. Was it the third, but the final one? Was it Jeepers Creepers Reborn or not?
I don't
remember.
know.
I guess the sequel, the diminishing thing with sequels, where the longer they go on, the more crap they come on.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers completely fell into that. It was just beautiful, the last one. But as a concept, the creeper is terrifying because he can fly. You can't see him coming. Even if you escape him the first time round, doesn't mean that he'll not come after you 23 years later.
Yeah.
He can pull his head off and regenerate by stealing somebody else's head. Do you know what I mean? He's complete. He's like a Frankenstein monster gone mad.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop. But like Terminator again.
Yeah. So
But there's
here's
actually
go for
four Jeepers Creepers movies. One, two, three, and then Creepers Reborn. Reborn is crap. So is number three.
right.
Just
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, I've only seen the first one, so I can't speak to that. But here's something to consider: would he want to come after you for any of your body parts?
Well, I'm missing a couple. So um
Joe, he'd
depends
be
which
like, "I
part he
like to
wants.
look at that leg," and then he takes it. He's like, "This fucking thing's not even real."
It's not even real. Is it? I'm lying on my back like a turtle. Give me my legs back. Um uh I still think, yeah, because he like takes your eyes and he's
Well,
no.
here's the thing about right. So I actually have really good eyesight. Last time I got my eyes checked, they were like near perfect vision. So I'd be worried he'd want my eyes, which
Yeah,
really,
you're
really
great.
fucking freaks me out.
Yeah, that something about that freaks me. You know, like them cannibal films with the eat the eyes and stuff. That
Oh
Green
God, yeah,
Inferno.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's just the creeper is a great concept. He's just the movies have let him down.
I like the way they incorporate that song into the movie.
Yeah,
Jeepers Creepers.
that's like something out of X Files. That episode Home,
Yeah.
where they used the inbred family, the Peacock family, and they used the Johnny Mathis Wonderful Love or something, which Johnny refused to give the X Files
Right.
because it was so gruesome. That episode, it was like Hills of Eyes and Wrong Turn.
Mm.
So they did the song anyway, but hired a copycat vocalist. So you think it's Johnny Mathis, it's not really. So Jeepers Creepers
Right.
uses the same sort of effect of that song, but for me, he would be an A because it would be just my luck, limbs missing and all. That there's another part of me that he wants.
he'd be
So
like
yeah, that would be
he'd be like those ears
A.
look awesome.
Yeah.
I need those ears.
Somebody said my eyebrows. They want my eyebrows for some reason. I don't know what the fuck they want my eyebrows for.
All right, so
Yeah,
you're going A.
yeah. Because the whole concept of them is anybody's for a game.
I think I'm also going to go A for the reasons I outlined. Just the idea that he'd want to come after my eyes just freaks me the fuck out. So
Yeah,
we go A. A for the creeper.
it's a
Um
primal fear to go blind. So
oh yeah. That's why like
yeah,
whenever like someone swings at us, we turn our eyes away cuz our instinct is to protect our eyes.
yeah,
Cuz if our, back in the day, if we lost our vision, we were fooked.
that's it. Good luck to you.
All right, next we have a bunch of little critters from the movie Critters. Owen, Owen, how scary do you find the critters?
I love the critters.
I think they're so cool.
It was so cool, even though the web series was absolute rubbish with the wee guy from Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. But the critters I could watch from now till forever.
We
How
watched the.
scary are they?
I was showing my daughter it a couple of years ago, and I hadn't seen it in such a long time, and it was great to rewatch it. And I'm like, this film's awesome.
It's really cheap looking,
It is, but there's
but
got
who
like
cares?
space bounty hunters in it, and lots.
Yeah, and French coats, like
Yeah.
every other space bounty hunter in the 80s. Um,
They
the
can
critters,
what else can they can shoot out these little needles that paralyze you.
yeah.
That freaks me out.
One of their victims in the first movie, and I hope I'm right. Well, I know who the victim is. I think it's the first movie was Neelix from Star Trek Voyager, played by Ethan Phillips. He was the cop, and they killed him under the car. I think.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
That's one of them things. When you watched it the first time, obviously he wasn't famous as Neelix,
Yeah.
and you go, "Oh, there's Neelix." Neelix just get killed by the critters. Um,
Nice.
Critters don't scare me as such.
But if they will say you're in a little
If they will,
town and you found a couple in your basement and you seen that they paralyzed someone and like how would you react? How would it make you feel? I'd freak out.
Well, I would say
I'll
with
tell you what,
my
it,
luck,
it preys on my fear of being paralyzed as well. So just like the creeper with the eyes, the idea of just not being able to move and there's these little creatures around
yeah, I don't
that
like that. I
that
don't like paralyzation either.
yeah, that gets me.
You know, yeah, they do kill you, but like, yeah, I wouldn't like to be paralyzed and eaten by them because you're eating alive.
Yeah.
And again, they're a bit like the blob and everything else. They're just doing what they want. They're not, and they're kind of like the Gremlins, only an evil version.
Yeah.
They're just gonna do it anyway. So I would go B,
Yeah, I'm
because they can roll. They roll as well. Whereas all I could have to do is sit in a wheelchair and hit them with a baseball with my crutch like a baseball bat. Would be
well,
my only defense. But if I miss one,
we say you're doing
they'll
that
come up
and
behind me.
we'll say you're doing that and they shoot a little needle to paralyze you.
I'll just lift my leg and put it in the false one.
um
Yeah, no, you're dead. So the
yeah,
concept of the
I'm
critters in a comedy setting is quite it's nasty. So they are a force to be reckoned with. So probably I was gonna say A. Will it say A? Yeah, because of the concept of them, it is A.
yeah, I'm gonna go
Because
A.
you're not surviving. There's no fun, no mercy or anything in it.
You almost convinced me down to a B, but I'm like, no, it's an A.
Yeah, I almost convinced myself to be there,
Yeah.
but no A.
Yeah, there you go. A double A for the critters, also known as the Krites. Isn't that what they're called in the movies?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, next. I shan't say his name 5 times. The Candyman. Not the one
I
from
love
Willy
Tony.
Wonka.
No, not him. I love Tony Todd, but I'm gonna sort of shock everybody. I don't like Candyman.
Right.
I don't see the appeal, and I actually rewatched it when it came on to Amazon because it'd been that long.
Yeah.
Just we were talking about before. It's been that long since I said I must watch Candyman again because it's Tony Todd. As I watch anything Tony Todd's in because Hatchet and all that.
He's great.
And I love Hatchet, and I just went, that's crap. I just thought, and then when the remake was announced and done, I haven't watched it because no intention of watching it. Um, I just went, no, it doesn't do it for me.
So Candyman,
The
yeah, it just doesn't
Candyman,
do it for me. Or for yourself.
no, no, it's just so what? Especially, it's almost as if it's in her head, even though he's an urban ghost. But I just went, nah, I don't do it. I've seen Scarier and Scooby Doo, to
I
be honest.
I quite like the Candyman and I really like the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I like the movie quite a bit. But
doesn't do it
it
for me at all.
just doesn't do it for yourself, right?
No,
Although
I'm gonna go.
in terms of fear, so you to summon the Candyman, you have to say his name 5 times in a mirror.
Well,
Oh,
see, it's all right. Then I'm safe because I haven't even haven't even seen the film 5 times. I've only seen it twice,
so we'll
so
say
I'm safe.
someone said to you, say his name 5 times in a mirror. Would you call their bluff and go, all right, I'll
It's
try it.
I well, see, I'm very good at calling bluffs, as many people have found out over the years. But in this instance, I'd say you knock yourself out, son, because I'm away. No, I would not say his name 5 times, just in case he
Just in
was real.
case, just in case something happened.
You're right. You never know.
Yeah,
You never know. I have enough false bits without a fucking false hook as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'd probably be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not saying his name.
nah,
Just in.
I had enough trouble with Bloody Mary. Thank you very much. No thanks. Um,
So we
I
we
would
we
for me
probably have
no,
nothing to worry about then. So what would you go?
no. I would just go D because he'll not be in my life.
Would I go as low as
Tony
a
can come
D?
in, but not
I'm gonna
not
bump him
Candyman.
up to a C just because there is a chance I'd be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna say his name and then call your bullshit. So I'm gonna go for a C. You're going for a D.
A D.
All right. Now, if I did say his name and he came after me, I'd be like, "Ooh, that's gonna be high."
Very high.
All right. So the Candyman has a hook for a hand. This fella has knives on his fingers. Freddy Krueger.
I'm not, well, sort of, I adore Robert Englund. Adore him.
Yeah.
I met him in Belfast at a convention,
Nice. What
and
was
it
he
was
like in
really,
person?
I'll send you a video. He did a video note for me for, I'm a huge V fan, and for those listeners who don't know what V is, V, the miniseries from the 1980s, where a race of lizards masquerading as humans tried to take over the planet. Uh, with what do you call him? Who did I meet? Michael Ironside, who was Ham Tyler, signed my comic, the number one V comic. A huge cast, huge show, brilliant show. And not Freddy. Robert played an alien visitor called Willie. He was one of the good guys, and Willie would make silly, with his sayings mixed up and all. But he was a vegetarian. Lizard, but all the rest of them were carnivores, and in the ships were huge holes full of human bodies in bags ready to be processed to be eaten. And it didn't matter, woman, child, man, whatever. Everybody was in these things. It was absolutely terrifying at the time. Because of Willie, and the day I met him, I was actually going to get a Willie photograph signed, and he hadn't got a good one. The one he had was a bit grainy.
You were going to get a
But
what? Sorry.
Willie, not that Willie. That's not, no, that's not Cenobites. You're thinking of Cenobites.
See, you would open the
Um,
box, you dirty birdie.
I wouldn't know if, but he only had Freddy Krueger ones.
Yeah.
So, uh, lovely man, absolute gentleman. Love to meet him again.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the Horror Con in Swords in November might get him with a bit of luck. Fingers crossed.
Oh, is that
Um,
potentially on the cards? Is it?
well, I don't know. When you're looking at a horror con, when you sort of look at a horror con, you think, who would you want? Who would number one be? Tony Todd's gone. Rest is so. So for me, it would be try and get Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund,
Yeah.
because you've seen the guest list so far. But Freddy, and when he made that transition from Willie to Freddy, it was such a shock to me at the time. It was like, that's Willie from V. He's a
Yeah.
good guy. Freddy is terrifying. He's the guy that did the quips. He, you just, even when you forget him, he'll find a way somehow to get you to remember him and get back into your dreams, and you can't fall asleep. Freddy is ST, 100% ST, but
Yeah.
I do love Robert
I
Englund as a person.
yeah,
I'll
I
send you
would.
the video he did for me.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
he did an impersonation of Willie for me, for
Nice.
V, for a super club in Connecticut, America. I'll send you the video. He did it for free,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. He's amazing. But Freddie, ST, 100%. Freddie's never really lost that edge in any incarnation he's been in, really. Even the TV series, there's always been that he's a funny guy, but he's going to cut your throat when it suits him.
Yeah.
He's not even going to wait for you to see. But Freddie, 100% super T.
I would put him at S tier. I'm just thinking of like so we've talked a little bit about the others of, you know, how likely he would be to want to kill you. So I mean, in the first one he's going after the kids of the parents who murdered him.
Mm.
So we'll say you were taking a nap on Elm Street. Do you think he'd wander into your dreams and go, "Ah, fuck this guy. I'm gonna get."
You have met me, yeah, at my luck, yeah. And at the same time, I'd be get a critter quill up the ass. That'd be an Ireland. And then a big hook comes in from frickin' Pinhead, and I says, seriously, lads, what is so much of me to go about?
Calm down, one at a time. Form an
Calm down,
orderly
one at a
queue.
time, lad. Yeah, no, Freddie, do you know I've just been having weird dreams the last week or so since I come back from the Norway cruise. So yeah, I would more than likely find out I'm actually related to somebody in Elm Street and get done by Freddie.
Yeah. Do you know what? With Freddy, you just never know. He might just decide he doesn't like you.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna put like Freddy and his whole concept, the idea of coming after you in your dreams and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and then not being it. I love my sleep. I'm like
So do I.
the
And
idea of
remember,
someone
you're
disrupting my sleep is just that's terrifying enough.
yeah, me too. But you're paralyzed in your sleep, which is one of your fears anyway.
Yeah.
You can't do anything in your sleep. That's a normal
Do you ever have
bodily.
those? Do you ever have those dreams where you're trying to run really fast, but your body just in your dream you just can't get your legs to move properly?
No, I have great dreams now because I always have two legs, and it's amazing. I keep going in my dreams. I've
Oh,
got two legs. Ah, and
oh,
in the old, I always have the dreams where you're gonna fall.
yeah.
No, well, you slip when you jump in your sleep, that sort of thing. But no, I don't do the other ones with the running. It's sort of more solid. That it's actually glowing in my dreams now, like they celebrate the fact I've actually got two legs. Um, but yeah, that's what my dreams are. About my legs. Freddie would come in and go, "No, you're all right. Thanks very much. You've enough trouble."
He'd probably help you out. He'd feel so bad for you.
But
I'm gonna give
I remember
Freddie,
Freddie versus Jason. That was the other one. Remember?
yeah, which I actually quite like. I think
I love that. There
I
was
I think
supposed
it's
to
one of
be
the
a.
I think it's one of the better ones. Even in
So do I.
even in terms of writing and stuff, I think it's
Yeah,
uh,
I interviewed Douglas Tate that played Jason in that one.
nice.
Awesome. Yeah, he sent me some autograph photos, which was awesome of him. Very nice. But there was supposed to be a Jason versus Pinhead.
Right.
That would
Yeah.
have been interesting. And
Well,
it literally got to this thing about to be made stage, and then it was all pulled.
wow, it got that
Or was
far.
it? Or was it Freddy versus Pinhead? It's one of the two.
Yeah, I know there was going to be like they were trying to throw Ash Williams in there.
Aye, that's right. He was going to go into that. I'm glad it didn't. It was Jason and Fred. It made sense. I mean, it wasn't just a silly old team up. It actually made sense. The story.
Yeah, I like the way they went about it for the most part.
Mm.
Right, so what are you giving Freddy Krueger?
Oh, Freddy's an ST.
S tier.
What I am.
I'm gonna put him into the S tier as well
Yeah, you have to be.
for
He
all
always
those.
finds it right back.
Yeah, he's having that dude in your dreams is a scary prospect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Freddy has a burnt face. This guy has a leather face. Oh, and how afraid of Leatherface are you from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Well, here's a story for you.
Oh, tuck
Yes,
yourselves in, folks.
tuck yourselves in, folks, because here's another true story from Owen coming. Um, I went to see Rogue One at the premiere Rogue One in
I
Belfast.
was not
And
expecting the story to start like this. That's
I way to
interesting.
hear the connection between Rogue One and
Texas
the
Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's also a Rogue One connection to me in my old school, but I'll tell you about that another time.
Yeah.
I came back from Rogue One, wasn't particularly impressed. I thought a lot of it was shoehorned, slow, and crap. The ending was good. And I put on Facebook, no spoilers, folks, but I'm not going to be a sheep, but Rogue One is a mess.
Right.
I got attacked like never before. I had people unfriending me. I had people calling me all sorts of names. And
Wow.
you know John Dugan, the actor from Texas Chainsaw, who played the father.
Yeah.
He came on. He went, "You're a dick." So I have been called a dick by one of the cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Do you know what?
That has to be a short.
Do you know
That
what?
has to be a short.
We'll edit that into a short. I've called you worse, to be fair.
Well, that's true. But I was very gentlemanly about it. I wasn't going to answer back and say, well, at least I'm not so down on my luck. I had to send my autograph for 20 quid. That's all.
Oh, listen, it's
Um,
mad how heated a discussion about a movie can get. Like
yeah,
it's like
I didn't give. I said, oh, you spoiled it. And I went, I didn't fucking spoil it. I just said, it's a mess.
right.
A lot of people come out and said, oh, it was amazing. But I just thought it was a mess. I still think it's a mess.
People get
Um,
passionate about these things.
yeah, I know.
I
I just,
I haven't seen it in so long. I can't remember what I thought of it.
yeah, the ending was good.
Hmm.
But Leatherface, but here's my other story. A zombie did come, oh, no, a Leatherface Jason Voorhees love child did come after me one time in Cromwell jail with a chainsaw and
What?
tried to cut my leg off. Now, it was a Halloween night, right?
Aha. Okay.
So they had a Halloween scary night. So you went through all these spooky houses and glass floors and shit, and you think there's no floor there, you're going to fall through. But they had like all these sets up where a helicopter crashed and everything.
Hmm.
So this zombie thing came out, but it was wearing a Jason mask. and he was carrying a chainsaw, and I went, "Oh Jesus Christ!" And this is the year before I lost my leg, so I knew at that point the leg was coming off at some point.
Yeah.
I was fate showing me this leg's coming off, and I went, "Oh shit!" And then he see me walking because I was limping with a big boot, and then he took me by the arm, and me and him strolled down the path with our chainsaw, and it was wonderful. But I Leatherface is scary for me in the fact he's ruthless. He's just, it doesn't matter how good a person you are or anything. You see him coming, he's going to kill you and keep coming after you until he kills you for literally no reason.
Well, you trespass on his property.
Well, seriously, is that a reason for to really chop people to bits
Yeah,
with
I
a
mean,
chainsaw?
the idea of someone like he's a big dude with
Yeah,
the skin of a victim on his face coming at you with a chainsaw. It's pretty scary.
yeah, yeah. It is scary coming at you, but I'm
Now,
sort of
the
thinking,
only thing is that I would say like because I trained the old martial arts and all that, I'm pretty decent cardio. I think I could probably outrun him.
and again, I'd be dead.
I'd be running ahead, waving
So
over
this
my.
isn't
I'd
really
be
fair.
waving back over my shoulder. Bye bye, Owen. Nice
I
knowing
need
you.
one of them mobility scooters
Right.
with a Knight Rider turbo boost on it.
Listen, we're not starting a GoFundMe just for your Turbo Boost mobility
I
scooter.
never, I never get nothing. I'm just used and abused on this podcast. I swear to God, folks. Yeah. So he is terrifying, and he is flesh and blood, and he's a big dude. Um,
Because I could
I just
probably outrun him fairly easily. Now he could always take me by surprise. If he grabbed me, I mean he's strong. That's
yeah.
scary, but I will
See,
go.
I don't understand why nobody kicks him in the nuts. Do you
Um,
know what I mean? If a man, no matter how big he is, grabs you with the chains and he has a chainsaw on the other hand, kick him in the bloody nuts.
I mean,
It
give it a
brings the best
shot.
of them down.
If it's
Uh,
if you've no other recourse, just give it a go.
Yeah. I mean, if it works, happy days. If it doesn't, you go, "Oh, I'm going to die with a chainsaw."
I'd try
But
anyway. You
at least you tried. Uh, for me, it's terrifying because of my condition. Um, but if I had a turbo boost mobility scooter, I would put him as a dick.
I'm gonna go see what you're going for.
Oh no, for me,
Right.
because if it was real life, I'm screwed. I'm basically screwed with all of them, really. Let's face it.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to admit this, but I would probably trip you so that you're bait and then just leg it.
Stephen Carey plays with hell. It's Cenobite box every night of the week, folks. Just saying.
I I
He
told
can't
you
wear a
not to
short
say
sleeve
that.
shirt because of the hook marks. He's covered in hook marks.
I
He's
told
like a fish that's been caught 20 times and threw back.
I told listen, you said you weren't going to go into any of that. Anyway.
Well, you wounded my disability pride.
Listen, Owen, I've all the respect in the world for what's your name again?
Yeah, except when there's something coming to kill us, then I'm screwed.
But would you not do the same if it was you had no choice, you were going to be caught? And listen, I wouldn't blame you if you like maybe shot me in the knee or something, and and then you just made your way to safety. I mean, like you did what you got to do.
What, shot you in the knee with my crutch? How does that work?
Oh, well,
Have you
whatever.
been
Like
watching
we'll
Stan
say
and
you had a
Terror?
we say you had a gun with one bullet.
No, I would say I would shoot him and would both run. Then that's the sort of guy I am.
But if I was right
Not,
beside you, you would like,
I'd say, right, let's go.
you're gonna hit me with one bullet pretty easy. If he's kind of at a distance and you've only one bullet, that's so. Do you want to risk it?
No, if he's at a distance, then it's all right. We can run. And if you have only one leg, I'll give you a piggyback. A piggyback? A piggyback. Or if I have one leg, which I have, you can give me a piggyback.
There you
I
go.
would still outrun him. Because
That's
I could use the gun and shoot at him as he's coming back, and
Do you
it'll
know
be all
what?
right.
I think that would be the best strategy. I put you on my back. You point the gun at him as he runs after us,
Yeah,
and between the two of us, we should be all right.
yeah. It's right between the eyes. Let's face it. You haven't seen anybody do it in the horror movies. Why? Because it works.
There you go.
There you
Okay, so
go.
that's Leatherface, an A and a C.
Yeah,
All right.
I think he would be an A for sure.
Owen, do you like going into the water much?
I love the water. Did I tell
Okay.
you jumped off a boat in Turkey with one leg?
You did not. No, that's pretty
Oh, I have to
cool.
tell you,
That's
that
awesome.
that that was one of my bucket lists after I lost the leg. I says a year from now I'm going to be in Turkey. I'm going to go to a party boat. I'm going to jump off and swim in the ocean
Oh,
with one leg,
that's so
and then
cool.
come out and tell everybody shark took it.
That's
And
brilliant.
I did,
That is
and I did.
brilliant. That's
And there's video and photos.
There you go. So that kind of ties in. So the next horror villain slash monster is none other than Jaws.
Heart attack. Yeah, Jaws is S tier, 100%.
Yeah. So
Even though he's not a villain as such,
he's like a movie monster.
he's just doing what sharks do.
Yeah, yeah.
But but they don't really kill that many humans. It's
Well,
just humans that made them scary.
this one is a particularly aggressive shark.
Yeah, but
It's not like the norm, from what I understand, to be like this if you're a shark.
unlike number four, where it suddenly tracked down the entire family to kill them, I thought seriously, it was like Michael Myers with fins.
Yeah. The shark was harassing the
Yeah.
family.
Oh, there's them ones there. Let's kill them. Piss off. Um,
Okay,
but yeah, no,
so
Jaws,
I
100%.
I one of my big fears is sea creatures. All right, so we've talked about a few of my fears in this one episode. Someone taking my eyes being one, but I am fucking
Paralysis.
terrified of sea creatures. So it's kind of right. So it kind of saves me though, because Jaws will be absolutely S tier. It's terrifying. Like when I seen it as a kid, I'm like, oh man, that's horrifying. But because because I'm so afraid, and I don't really like going to the beach and swimming in the water, I probably would have no reason to be afraid of Jaws. I'm like, I'm staying on land.
Do you ever actually leave the house?
As little as possible.
Mother Jesus. Can you swim?
For about 4.5 seconds.
Well, there's Ireland's last stand there, folks. When they come,
Jaws wouldn't come after me because I'd be too easy prey. He'd just be like, this is boring. I'm gonna go after someone who's a bit more of a challenge.
I just wave my stump at him and go, "You're too late." Um, no, Jaws would be for me. Do you know what? Actually, when I did jump off that boat in Turkey, that was the last, as I was on the edge of the plank. It was a pirate ship. Um, the last thing went through my head was, what if there's a shark in there?
Yeah.
And
Does
I
it
still jump.
if I liked going into the water, if it was something I did regularly, then Jaws would be absolutely S tier. But yeah, not a big fan of going to the beach and swimming in the water, and I can
Oh,
like it.
I am. I am. I love the beach. I love water. I love swimming. But yeah, there is, if you're out at sea, but it depends where you are.
That's
Like,
true. That's true. So for those reasons, I'm gonna drop him down to a C. C for
I'd have to go.
Jaws.
I'd have to go for an S tier because
That's reasonable.
you never see them coming. That's
Well,
your
if you're
thing.
listening out, you'll hear his music, so you'll know to like, oh, I
I
need to
get.
get.
But who'd have thought a film about a shark playing a cello would become so popular?
Who thought that would be a smash hit?
Imagine. And I think Sharknado was bad. There you go.
That's a real Mel Brooks
Sharknado in
movie.
the musical, they all have cellos.
That's a Mel Brooks gag right there. Like it pans away and Joss is playing a cello as he
You
swims
know.
after you. All right, so that's Jaws. Okay, this one we might need to have to be very smart about this fella, Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Do you want, let's go for a fish supper, not in your house, Hannibal. Um, Hannibal Lecter. See, this is where we talked last time. My fear is people, because
Yes, yes,
you don't know. You think you know people. Even married people think they know their spouses and stuff until they find out they're serial killers and things, which
yep,
is not a joke. It's
yeah.
completely true. I'm
That's a
trying to think of
scary
the
thought, isn't
name
it?
of it.
Imagine like
Isn't it?
the person closest to you turned out to be an absolute whack job.
Yeah. And you go, and then you sort of go, well, why'd you not do that to me? Was something wrong with me that I wasn't good enough to be like eaten? Um, yeah, Hannibal would be scary for me
Yeah.
because of that very thing. He's a person, and you wouldn't think he would. There's people would do that to you. And when I haven't watched the series, I've only watched the movies. Um, but having somebody in tied to a chair and then taking bits off them to be cooked as just like what, and the things they do is just depraved. It's but you know what happens in the world, and that's the scariest thing about it.
Another,
That it's real life. There's sharks.
yeah,
There's big sharks, which is scary and stuff like that. But it's the fact your next door neighbor could be John Gacy or Ted Bundy or Hannibal
yeah.
Lecter. So the fear factor in that one is 100% S tier for me.
Another,
And Hopkins is brilliant.
Hopkins is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Silence of the Lambs is one I want to cover sometime because it's just a brilliantly written
awesome.
movie.
Yeah.
Another frightening aspect of Hannibal Lecter is his intelligence. Like he's a really
Mm.
smart dude, which is always scary when you're that monstrous plus intelligence. Yeah,
And I also like the fact that he knows how the other serial killers all think and work,
yeah,
and he can deduce all that because he's in that same sick sort of
yeah.
mind spot, if
Like
that's
in
the
the
right word.
movie, they were only on the cusp of all that knowledge, weren't they?
Yeah,
They weren't quite like there with it all, so he had to fill them in,
yeah. But
quid
it's,
pro
it's
quo.
it's the fact that he knows that as well. So you talk about Jaws, that's a shark right there in human form.
Mhm. So I'm hovering between S and A. He's definitely high. Maybe down to an A because maybe there's a chance I could fight him off. Maybe. I mean,
No, because he would know this guy's a martial artist and work that into his plan.
that's it.
So
He's so fucking
somehow he would have drugged you or
yeah.
lulled you into false sense of humor,
False
security,
sense of
and then
humor.
laugh away while I cut your leg off here. Then no one can sit and match in church.
That's it. He'd probably account for all that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'll count for all that. So that's not a defense because if he
Yeah,
wants you, he's gonna know everything about you.
that's a very good point. He's gonna know what he's at. I'm gonna go. Considering all that, you've talked me into a S tier for Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, scary boy.
Same for
You don't
yourself.
buy a model for somebody for no reason. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not because he's a good kisser, probably like that, or
so
he's
you,
bad breath.
so you're going S for Hannibal.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Hannibal is tied with Freddy Krueger. All right. Next we have the Graboids.
Tremors.
From
Love the
Tremors.
Tremors.
Yeah,
Love the Tremors.
I love this movie.
Um,
I love it so much.
you ever watch the TV series?
I haven't, no.
It's on YouTube as well somewhere. Um, Graboids are avoidable as long as
Uh,
you have rocks.
yeah, but you need to kind of know. You need to know all that beforehand. You know, if you don't know
Yeah.
anything and you're just pottering about, like, ugh.
Uh, but we do because we've watched the movies.
All right. Well,
We have
we're not allowed to use any meta information. Like,
we've got the ultimate guidebook in the movies. Yeah, they would be a relentless force because you remember it took a concrete wall in Bert's basement to stop one. Not even stop it; still broke through. To slow it down so they could shoot it. It went off a cliff and
yeah,
smashed on the ground. But otherwise, it pulled cars down, all sorts. And even if you do happen to find a rock, I'm just thinking about where I would live. Um, it can come up through any surface, but if you find a rock, it'll wait you out. So
That's
you're gonna
it.
fall asleep.
That's it. They're actually
You're
pretty.
gonna get
They're,
thirsty. If you're diabetic, your blood sugars are gonna drop.
mm,
So they're more intelligent than they look.
it's yeah, it's
So
gonna be high
I
for me, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, B maybe.
Yeah, maybe an A or a B. They're pretty
Yeah,
scary. Now, when you're watching the movie, maybe you don't find them that scary because the movie's quite humorous as well, so that helps
oh,
kind of
human.
dull
Yeah,
that. But just taking the monsters as they are, oof, A or B. I might go
I
B.
would
I'm gonna go
I would
B.
go
I'm gonna
B
go B for
because
the
there's rocks and there's concrete cities and there's
That is
and
true. Yeah, yeah.
as the films go on, there's different terrains. You find they expand the mythos. Oh, but then you've got the ass burners,
Are they the flying ones?
the flying ones,
Yeah.
and then you've got the mini raptor ones.
Well, I think to keep this simple, we won't go into the. Should we allow for them? I don't know. What do you think?
No, just like the original and the best, the big
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
I'm gonna go B for the graboids.
yeah, I go B too.
Excellent choice. All right, last one. We have the Wishmaster.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that bio at all. Oh no, oh,
I
it's
always
on
thought,
YouTube as well, by the way.
yeah.
One and two.
I
He refused to do an interview with me. For the naughty man, Andrew
he
Gibbon.
refused to do interviews, did he?
Yeah, if I emailed him over or I messaged him over Facebook, he want to do an interview for the web. No.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, do you know what?
well,
Maybe they
screw
had
you,
others.
no. Your
Maybe
film was shit. There you go.
I know. Oh, don't be so childish. You can.
Wishmaster is
I've always thought this was. I always thought this was quite an underrated horror movie. I think it's pretty cool.
yeah,
I like it. I like him as a villain. The performance is great. I think his look is really interesting. His
looks really amazing.
the concept is good. Now he is absolutely bullshit with how he kills you, right? Like
Yeah,
the way he twists what you say, and he's like, that's absolute bullshit, Wishmaster. Um, and
but
also the
that's the
idea of
gin.
like he's trying to force someone into making wishes.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good tactic. I mean, you should just the idea of having three wishes is pretty just tempting on its own. He should like I think he should go about it a different way, we shall say. But Wishmaster, how scary do you find him?
scary if he's not if he's in human form because you would so easily go for three wishes.
Yeah.
Because it'd be just life being what it is these days. It's like, oh, I wish this, I wish that. You'd be wishing your life away. So he's got loads of fodder
Yeah.
to choose from.
This is true.
Um, See, if I wished for my leg back, I bet you I would get a big 6 foot man's leg. I'm
No,
only
do you
wee
know what?
5 foot
You'd
and
get
eight.
your leg back exactly how it was, but it'd be on the
Yeah,
side of your head or something.
aye, exactly. It would be somewhere where you didn't want it. Um,
um,
like the Hellraiser. And
there's one of the scenes. So he's in this store and he says to your one, would you wish to be beautiful forever? And he turns her into a mannequin. Like that.
I
That
know.
always like, oh, that's freaky.
And like them mannequins aren't that beautiful. You know what
No,
I
but
mean?
that's the least of the issues, though.
I'd have been going, if I'd have been you, I'd have said, excuse me, is that the best you can do?
It's like, yeah,
But
I want a mulligan. I want to do over on my wish.
yeah, uh, he's very scary because, like all other evil, you're not expecting him because it's nowhere in your sphere of experience. And he could easily manipulate you into doing it,
And he's
into the stupid
potentially
wishes, and then it's too late.
yeah, he's potentially like insanely powerful as well,
Yeah,
and like
and if
when he
if the
gets
three
go on.
if the three wishes come true, hell opens up on Earth, doesn't it?
Or like the jinn come and
I
take
think
over or something, and
I
just that's a
yes,
horrifying
that's it. Yeah,
prospect. So
yeah.
I wouldn't want those boys in control.
No,
Yeah,
because
the
it
more we talk
almost
about him, the
happened.
scarier he seems. And just a little side note as well that there's a lot of cameos, some horror icons in Wishmaster.
Oh, Freddie's in it.
Freddy,
Freddie,
Tony Todd,
Tony Todd. Freddie's the art dealer.
Kane Hodder.
Kane's in there.
Have we missed any? I mean, that's a lot in itself.
That's a bit like Hatchet.
Is Hatchet like that? Yeah, with its camera
Yeah.
work.
Oh, Hatchet, especially Hatchet 2, is very like that. It's awesome because you're ticking off who it is, and you do get to see Leatherface and all in it, but
Hmm.
not Leatherface, the actor that plays him.
Yeah.
Um, which is part of the reason I love Hatchet so much. Hatchet 1 and 2, they're just so good, so funny.
Yeah, you've been
Um,
recommending them to me.
yeah, definitely. Again, thank you. Uh, that's it. Tony Todd, Robert Englund, and Ian Hodder.
Yeah.
Andrew Divoff is the Wishmaster. I think he came back for the second one, didn't come back for the third one.
He definitely did at least two.
Yeah,
And then yeah, the stories get really wacky as you go on, don't they?
yeah.
Like
It's like cheaper.
a gin slayer comes into it and all this kind of stuff.
I think, wonder where they get that idea from, Buffy. Yeah, it's like Jeepers Creepers. The more they do, the less the quality gets and the sillier they are.
Yeah. And
Like
again,
that
like with
performance, right?
the concept of the wishes, he doesn't just kill you; he kills you in these really obscure ways, and some of them are quite frightening. So, or
I
even the
don't
idea
always
of being
kill
like
you.
trapped as a mannequin for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give him an S. What do you think?
What about the work of art he turned the dealer into, and he was
Yeah,
still alive?
yeah,
I was like I
exactly.
was like a cube. All I seen was the eyeball.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, no, he's really powerful and dangerous, and I think that's the power behind a gin
yeah.
is the fact you don't think it exists, so you're just gonna go with it because everybody wishes something in the workplace.
I think it could have been such a great franchise,
Mm,
but it just didn't pan out. Yeah.
no,
All right, Wishmaster for me, then, considering all that, has got to be S tier. Very, very fucking frightening.
yeah,
And for
because I
yourself,
would be, yeah, I would be the one that would sit and wish for everything.
yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
You'd give him three wishes in like fucking 20 seconds.
Oh, I'd give him. First, I'd go. I wish I had all the original Star Wars toys in their boxes from 1977 to 1982.
And then it'd manifest inside your skull, and that's how you die.
Aye, exactly.
So S for you.
S for me as well. Yeah.
All right. That is all our horror villains. Let's see who came out on top in terms of how much they frighten us. So again, it's all highly subjective. So let us know in the comments how you would have rated some of these. Okay, so two S's for Freddy,
Mm.
two S's for Hannibal, and two S's for Wishmaster. So a three-way tie. In our last video, I think it was a five-way tie. There was a lot of scary folk on there.
But that says a lot about the quality of the characters that are in that universe.
Yeah,
There are genuinely powerful, scary things if you met them in real life.
yeah, exactly. All
I
right,
have a suggestion for the next one as well, by the way.
say again.
I have a suggestion for the next one as well.
Oh, absolutely. Fire some at me. I love doing these because there's so many to do. Um, all right, so coming at the very, very last is our boy, the Candyman, who
Yeah.
is very, very scary, but just for the reasons we outlined.
And I think it, but then I just thought you'd hear him coming because of the bees.
You might hear him coming,
And
but what the hell can you do about it?
well, the first thing you do when you hear bees, people start beating off the wall.
I have a bad memory of being stung by a bee as well, so.
I get stung by a bee in the middle of a garage on a sunny day, and I was wearing a white shirt and trousers, and I could feel something crawling up the hairs of my chest. And next thing was this terrible pain. I thought it was a heart attack.
Yeah.
I ripped my shirt open like Superman in the middle of the garage, and the wife was standing and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "I got stung." This big, huge red lump, and I couldn't. And people couldn't find the one where you start shaking your shirt and all, so
Yeah.
it would fall out. I never found the wasp or the bee that did it. I was pretty sure it was a wasp, but it hurt like a Jesus Christ. I thought I was going to die.
I got stung just
But
on the
that,
back of the head and it was fucking painful. I think it was the
oh,
head.
it's
I might.
sore.
Um, that would be a good idea for a book. You trying to track down that bee and get revenge.
Sure. Sure, the day wants to do the sting, do they not?
Oh, do they?
I think so.
Oh.
Once the sting, that's it. The die.
So if you want to get revenge, you need a Ouija board.
And unless they do what they did with Jaws 4, find the family. Drag the family.
Just as
You
for
look like the wasp.
a family of bees being harassed by an author from Belfast.
Yeah, come here. Run about with my books, baiting them off, squashing them.
You just see the bees sitting around a campfire telling the story of the author who only has one leg who gets revenge on bees.
Oh, did you see that one-legged man that run about with a book? There's something weird about him. Oh.
All right, Owen Quinn, where can these people find you and your work?
We can find me at the Time Warriors and Beyond website. www.timewarriors.co.uk. Nearly could say it right. Instagram, the Time Warriors author, and Twitter, the Time Warriors author. And that's about it. I'm just about everywhere. So there's loads of magic stuff on my site.
What have you
For
got
you
up
to enjoy.
recently?
Today was another villain article, and it was Betty White from Lake Placid, and I can't remember her bloody name
Oh,
in the movie.
fantastic. I remember
Um,
being very fond of that movie.
and she had just come off the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Um, and that Rose being so dumb and innocent, and then this foul-mouthed woman
Yeah.
feeding feeding her husband to crocodiles and stuff. Or didn't she? Didn't feed him, but she's feeding the crocodiles cows just to keep them entertained. She's Mrs. Bickerman in Lake Placid,
Yeah.
and she made that movie. I think
Awesome.
I really do. Yeah, and I'm also editing When Angels Burn. I'm doing a bit of editing tonight after we come off this for what's the story? To Meet in Dreams. And hopefully, once that's done, I'll get the other stories finished and that book finished and published for Christmas. But
Excellent.
that's taking time, bloody editing.
Oh, editing
Otherwise, we'd
is
be
just,
flying.
it can be so tedious as well.
Yeah. Anybody wants to volunteer, please contact me.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Stephen Carey Stories. And as I said, my horror novel, Miles and Mary Ashbury, is out now. There'll be a link in the description. All right, we'll see all you lovely folks again soon. Not sure what we're doing next. We probably cover another movie. Owen, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we need a movie.
We have
We have a
a
few,
list
we
as
have a
long.
few in the boiler.
Yeah. We have a
Don't we?
list as long as my arm.
I'll say boiler, I mean one the size of a volcano. There's that many. We just can't pick one. There's so many good stuff out there.
Yeah, so we'll have to get together, have a chat, and
Mm, have to narrow
see.
it down.
Yeah, drop in the comments if there's anything in particular you'd like us to cover.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And let us know what you think of the podcasts and our versions or our sort of thoughts on the villains that we've talked about. It'd be
Yeah,
nice to hear somebody else's.
yeah. Let's hear your perspective on these very, very intimidating villains.
Mm.
All right, talk again soon. Bye bye.
Bye.